Hey, it's Joe, and I'm just sitting here, and my name is Joe Murray. And we are live on Facebook, we are live on Twitter, and we are live on Periscope. And that's what we do here. It is Memorial Day week, so I'm not sure if we're going to do a show Friday or Monday. Thinking about giving some people the time off. I don't know. Does everybody get time off right now? I don't know. I mean, I got a phone call at 5:40 by the guy who's my guest today, Nick Gemelli, who we'll bring in just a minute here. Anyways, just sitting here. The podcast, I believe, is going on. It's the 10th week of quarantine, and we are on episode, I think, like 31, maybe. I don't know. Just Sittin' Here is on Spotify, YouTube, and iTunes. And what we do is we bring in people that I like, and we shoot the shit about stuff that's happening, not so much sports related. And you can chat into the show. So there's a chat feature somewhere on here, on Facebook or on Twitter or on Periscope, where you can join the conversation. So you can do that today, and you can have some fun with it. So I have thoughts on the Jordan documentary and stuff from the weekend, and we'll get to all that. But first and foremost, let's bring in my guest today. He was once known as Intern Nick, and then he was known as Nick Gemelli, and then he was known as Sickly Nick, and then it was Don't Die Nick or something, and then it was something else. His name is Nick Gemelli. He's from 98.5 The Sports Hub. He's at Nick Gemelli on Twitter, and he is on Just Sittin' Here. I saw you just a couple hours ago, Nick. So,
yeah, long time no see.
Well, we didn't really talk. We
didn't.
We associated.
Yes.
You called me this morning. We don't have to get into the details, but you called me this morning. You were the first voice I heard today. And you said, hey. And I was like, hey. And I thought you were calling me about the podcast. And you're like,
at 5:40 in the morning?
Yeah. Well, all right, let's not joke around here. You're a little bit of a paranoid person, are you not?
Yes. Oh yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
And I didn't send you an email about possible topics.
You didn't.
And I bet you wondered all weekend long what kind of topics you're going to do today.
Kinda, sorta. Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I thought at 5:40 this morning, because I do listen to the Toucher and Rich program, which you work. I listen every day. I set my alarm for 6 o'clock, and then I listen and I fall asleep, but I listen.
You don't really have an alarm for 6 a.m. every day.
Every day I wake up at 6 o'clock.
Does it say TNR?
Nope. It's just every day I wake up at 6 o'clock because I don't know. Sometimes I'll never know if you guys are going to call me or not, And I like to listen to the show. It's what I wake up to. But you called me today and you're like, dude, you're going to come in? And I'm like, yeah, okay.
I did.
And then I came in.
I was your first the first person you talked to today. You probably didn't even talk to your wife this morning.
No.
I was the first one.
No. And I said, hey,
aren't you lucky?
Do you think these guys are fucking with me right now? That's what I said. I said, are these guys fucking with me right now? And then I'm like, all right, well, I was like, is there like a hall, like what's something going on? And then I was like, all right, I'm just gonna come in. But anyways, Nick Gemelli.
Yeah.
You're not paranoid.
We appreciate you filling in. Thank you.
I love it. I actually love it.
Thank you.
I love you handle the Twitch fam.
I do. And we're not on Twitch right now. I'm kind of surprised.
We're not. Well, actually, I have a Twitch account. We could be live on there, but we don't have the following on there as much as Anyways, let's get into the fun stuff. Don't be paranoid. And parental advisory. See right up here.
The more you tell me I'm not to be paranoid, the more I will be paranoid. So I'm doing fine, I think.
All right, Nick. I don't know if you can see my finger, but
I can
see at the top here. It says parental advisory, explicit content.
Yes.
It means you can swear.
Oh, wow. Well, my dad just told me not to pick my nose. So he is clearly watching right now.
Your dad, big fan of Just Sittin' Here.
He joined the chat, right? With you and Tucker.
he may have started the name of the show.
No, he did. He didn't start the name of the show, right?
And even Joe Murray just sitting there.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here with Nick Gemelli.
That's right.
All right, Nick. Right. First and foremost, let's start it off. I started this show based off of people in quarantine, and obviously we're stuck in the house all day. And I don't want to talk about sports. Blah 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 blah.
Me neither.
Blah. No. If you could be quarantined with one person at 98.5 The Sports Hub, who would that person be?
You know, I've been thinking about this all morning, and I thought Sarge originally, just because it would be interesting. It would keep me entertained. But if I'm thinking someone more like me, maybe like a Ty Anderson and Matt Doloff or one of those guys. I feel like I get along with those guys the most, even though, well, every time I see them at the station. But I would say, I think Ty or Matt. I think I would.
You got to pick one, dude. You can only pick one.
Oh man!
And just to tease you,
I'm going to say Ty because
Ty Anderson.
Ty, yeah, because him and I can just sit around and oh wait, he doesn't drink. He's straight edge.
That's right.
Oh man, that kind of. Oh boy!
But that's more beer for you.
That's true. That is more beer for me. But I feel like if I get drunk in front of him, he would judge. While we're watching like Marvel movies, like constantly, because I feel like him and I can sit down and just plow through all the, Marvel movies, in one sitting. Because what else are we going to do? We're not going to watch sports. There's no sports going on right now.
And you guys could talk emo music, which we'll do at some point. That's true. We'll do that at some point during the show because I at one time was I followed emo.
Yes, you did.
I wasn't necessarily like a fan. I just had a friend they supported, and
a friend of a friend that
but how many times do I have to I'm trying to think of like a lyric from like an emo pop punk band, like a bad star, I'm falling faster down to her. Like they all have that punk sound,
That's right.
Or like that Tom DeLonge, all the small things.
Well, nobody sings like him. I mean,
some people do.
They try to.
Like, tell me what you thought about when you were gone and so alone.
Who sings that?
That's the starting line. Worst is over. You can have best of me. They
see. I'm more like Take It Back Sunday, Brand New, Motion City Soundtrack. Oh man, Say Anything. Those type of bands.
We'll get it. We'll save it.
We'll get into it.
Save it.
I'm sorry
because I have a.
Am I freaking out?
I have a thought. No, I have a thought though. On that.
Okay.
Anyways, so Ty Anderson would be your guy. He was been on the podcast before.
Okay.
So for those who are out there, you can go back to the Just Sittin Here podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and iTunes.
So who hasn't been on the podcast?
Okay, so we haven't had Toucher or Rich.
Okay.
We haven't had John.
Okay.
We did have Mike Lockhart.
Okay, that's a good. Yeah.
I want Dan O'Brien to come on. I want to talk some Acoustic Sunrise.
And Toolbag. He has a podcast.
Yeah. Let's see
who
else. We had Billy Lanny on.
Yep.
We've had Big Jim Murray on. That was fun. Murray to Murray. Yeah. We were just I don't know. We were just blabbing about a bunch of shit. It was fun.
I love Big Jim. I worked. Him and I worked together at WFNX back when
the glory days, man. Glory days. So FNX, right? Okay, I want to get into your story in a little bit. Mm-hmm. But was FNX like the true alternative? Like what? Because I know they used to play a lot of indie stuff. And what I mean by indie was like, oh, you got to hear this band called, trying to think of like an indie band that like was out there. Like I liked Mudvayne. They were kind of a metal band, but they were like indie at the same.
That was
I don't
more
know.
like WAF, like Mudvayne.
Yeah, I guess
They
so.
had that one song.
Yeah. Oh my god, I know the song. I just
They
want
play
to
like
know. A space between a blink and a tear. Death blooms. That's
I
it.
don't even know that, but they
To my
played
mind, I know all these songs.
like WFNX played a ton of Phoenix, Matt and Kim, Kings of Leon. When Sex on Fire came out in 2008, that was like
sex is on fire.
I mean that saved like alternative radio. It saved like WBCN, like those stations. It saved WBCN specifically for another year because that song was such a hit. I don't think if I don't think if that song came out, I think WBCN would have been gone earlier. But WFNX like played, I'm trying to think of some of the Passion Pit.
Okay.
Vampire Weekend.
They were an alternative. They were a true old, and I liked them. I used to listen to the Signal. Kind of sucked back home, but
definitely.
because it's like a Lynn station trying to reach out to Boston, and hey, I know all about that during my heyday. There's a guy named Mark Gemelli checking in. He says that
that's so cool. You can do that.
He would like to quarantine.
Yeah, it's QUARANTINE.
He would like to quarantine with someone named Tyler Faith.
Oh, okay.
Do you know who that is?
She's from Saugus, I think. I've met her before.
Really?
Twice. Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, okay. I heard good things about her.
I've seen great things from her.
I heard she's stimulating.
Yeah.
Very stimulating. He also says that this is the best podcast on everything.
Oh, wow. There you go, Joe. So congratulations.
So a guy named Mark Gemelli checking in.
Thank you, Dad.
Talking about somebody named Tyler Faith. I don't know. I'll have to look it up, I guess. I'll have to look it up. So Nick Gemelli works over at 98.5 The Sports Hub. He's full-time. He handles this thing called Twitch, and then answers phones and does street audio.
Yeah.
And I want to get into your radio story in a minute here, but I had your good friend Tucker Silva on the podcast about a week or two ago.
He's fine.
And we got into a heated debate about golf.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, here's my deal, right? I get it. Yeah, you're going out golfing, it's like, yeah, let's go outside, bro, man. We'll golf and like we'll hit some balls and like, whatever. We don't need a cart today, and like you bring your beers and you shoot your shots, and then you like, you hang out and you go home.
Yeah.
But like if the governor says don't go golfing, you don't go golfing. Right. Now you can go golfing now, I get it. Yeah. But like there were some serious hardos out there, and I think you were one of them. You were one of these, why can't we go golfing? Blah, 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 blah. Like, for example, just to catch everybody up to speed, an hour ago, the governor came on the air. And he said, these are things that you can do and you can't do. So, essentially, no pun intended, it sounds like construction workers can go back to work and you can go to church.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of us are like, what the fuck? Is that pretty much what just happened?
Pretty much. I mean, essentially, it's stuff that should like kept open in the first place. It sounds like this is being safe and pushing everything back for another week, and everything like I think next week is like 25% of the workforce can return back to work, but it's strongly encouraged that people still work at home. It's kind of fuzzy. I'm not really sure. I was listening to it in the background. I wasn't even.
Yeah, because they didn't say anything that was appealing to anybody. So like, okay, yeah. So we're gonna try something for 3 weeks, and then another 3 weeks we're gonna do this. I love the moving along process and the all right, we're putting something in place to get back to like I support that. I support it. I'm this isn't me being against or being negative about it. It's just that you said the 18th shit was going to come back on. But on the 17th you did nothing about it.
Yeah.
So on the 18th you announced like, hey, today at 11 a.m. construction workers can go back to work. Like, I just wish that they like did it on Friday, and why wait till Monday?
Yeah, it was weird how they totally botched it. I feel like when a couple of weeks ago when they announced that everything was going to be pushed back to the 18th, they also said, "Oh, we're going to release our plan on the 18th." So it sounds like nobody really had any knowledge of what was going to be okay to reopen and what not. But the day
that's the thing, Nick. Nobody knows anything because
nobody knows anything.
There's been no direction. There's been no setup. And I'm the last person to talk politics with. I don't care. I'm out. Like, no, out. Politics, religion, out. None.
Okay.
I want none of it. But like, I think people need haircuts. I think people need, women need to get their hair did. They need to get their nails did. They need to get their eyelash. They need to go tanning. Like, you know what I mean? There's like shit that people need to do. And I know it's not necessarily essential, but it helps, I don't know, business owners, helps people get back to work. And I have a detailed thing of some shit that happened today, and I'll pull it up again. But
okay.
Like, they waited until today to say you can do it. Why didn't they do it on Friday so people could have the weekend to get this shit together?
I don't get that either. And it bugs me. It really does. Like, I feel they really botched this. I wish they gave us like any type of heads up, and they didn't. But they did. That was all part of the plan, apparently.
Anyways, you and Tucker got into it about golf. The fuck was your beef about golf?
I have no beef. I have no beef with golf. I think it should have been left open. But like, we're talking about that seems like something that people can easily keep separated from. And with some of the rules, which is like, I don't know what were the rules, like two people together and spacing out between holes and everything. The governor just didn't want that to happen. I feel like it would be a good way to get outside and have some exercise. And
you thought it was safe? You think it's safe?
I thought it was safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about dudes who've been drinking in the park together and like taking shots and shit? I don't know. This is what I heard. I heard that there hasn't been. I heard that some of the play on the golf course has been boys being boys.
Okay, well, it's golf. Like, do you have a problem with them having a few drinks?
I just had a problem with all the hardos that came out and were like, "Why can't we golf? Why can't we golf?" Blah blah blah. It's like, dude, they fucking said you can't golf.
Do you think I was coming off like a
hardo? You were like, "Yo, oh wow, everything these people can't." Yes, you did. Actually,
I think it's I just thought it was ridiculous that of all the things that you couldn't do, you couldn't go golfing. Like, I don't agree that beaches are being closed. Like, but I also think it's ridiculous that you look at Florida and the beaches are totally packed up and ready to go. Packed up with people. I think that was pretty ridiculous.
All right. So you just thought that they could have went golf. They should have went golf.
Yes.
You weren't like, I need to get out there and fucking stroke my golf swing.
I'm not stroking anything. I don't want to stroke anything.
But I mean, I don't know. I got into it with your boy Tucker.
He golfs all the time. Like, can you guys talk politics and religion? Thanks. I'll hang up and listen.
Like, he was like, why can't I go out there? Blah, blah, blah. Because the governor said so.
Yeah, but I could see him having a big problem with it because, he golfs all the time. I just started getting into golf because I need a hobby during the day. I mean, I want to go to the driving range. The driving ranges are still closed. I think that's kind of ridiculous, but yeah, I mean, why not have golf courses?
Screw. Tell this girl. All right. Is there anything to and I need confirmation because I'm reading the reopening Massachusetts in phases. And I just saw someone say outside dining only, Mark Gemelli. I don't see that on the phases. Was that announced today?
I think Boston has or in the process of closing streets to people only, no cars.
Ooh,
like Newberry Street.
You can have gatherings of 10 people now.
Oh, well, that's awesome. That's great. But Newberry Street is going to be closed to cars, and they're going to start setting up like tables and like restaurants are going to set up like tables for people to eat outside instead, which I think is a great idea. I think that's an awesome thing they're going to be doing.
So 3 weeks from today will be that one. Thank you, Tucker.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Just came over the news. Blah blah blah. We'll get back to it.
Are Tucker and my dad the only two that are watching right now?
No, we have 13 people watching at the moment. But this is a highly rated podcast. I
know it is. I'm not questioning that.
This podcast is on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's on Anchor.
But it's not on Twitch.
It's on. Well, I can get it on Twitch, but there's not a lot of Twitch followers. Most of my Twitch followers are on the morning show that I talked to today. That maybe I'll bring them over. Maybe. All right. Anyways, we've been playing grab ass for a little bit. Your radio story. I know you as intern Nick.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm on the iTunes. Anyways, I know you as intern Nick, a guy that they used to like make go do shit.
Yeah.
And like, hey, go fetch this and go fetch that.
Yep. That was.
And you would do it. There was an incident once. We got to get into it. This is what we do on this podcast. Okay, we don't have to if you don't really want to. But okay, Nick.
It really depends on what we're talking about.
Hey, Nick Gemelli,
I'm texting you right now.
How'd you get in the radio? You can text me. We have a private chat here too, if you want. I mean, you can text me.
Oh, we do.
Private chat.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
But no. Go ahead. How'd you get in the radio? Or why'd you want to get in the radio? Or how did this happen? How did Nick Gemelli end up working at 98.5 The Sports Hub?
At 98.5 The Sports Hub. Well, it goes back.
Where does the story begin, Nick?
It started back in 2008. I graduated from Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Ooh, what year?
And Joe, no, we cannot talk about that.
Okay, all right. What year did you graduate from CSB School of Broadcasting?
I graduated 2008.
Oh, I was 2007.
Were you really?
Were you in the Needham campus?
The
Channel 5?
The rundown place in I think Wellesley.
Oh, okay. I wasn't there. I was in a nice place.
Oh, well, lucky you. I wasn't. I graduated there, and then after 2 weeks, I applied for an internship at WBCN and Be Real at the time. He was a producer for Toucher and Rich, and I sat there and went through the process, and he said, "You got the job," and stayed there for 2 years, even though I was, internships don't really work out like that, but here we are. And I left.
You interned for 1 whole year.
2 years.
2 years without pay.
I was working the street team as well. That's how.
Okay. All right. So little people want to get in the radio. The pipeline into radio is working the street team.
Oh, the street team. Yeah, you gotta work the street. You gotta earn your stripes that way. Definitely. Yeah. But then I left.
What did you want to do? What do you want to do in radio? What did you want to do?
What did I want to do?
Yes.
I wanted to be on air, but I'm not sure.
Like, what do you want to talk about? Like, what would have been?
That's the thing. It's like I can't talk about sports, sports for 4 hours. Sports
isn't that what we're learning right now? Is that like we can go on without sports. I mean,
That's true.
shit. I talk gambling. I mean, I'll start gambling on the fucking Masked Singer, or like, what's going to happen on the, some show season 4, Ozark or whatever. Like we can bet on that shit. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So I don't need sports to bet.
Yeah. I mean,
I could bet on how many times someone says "bro" on a show,
or dude. Yeah.
Or like, essentially.
But now I want to be behind the scenes. I like producing. I wish I could do it more during the weekend, and creating.
So let me get your story. So you were BCN for 2 years of Be Real.
Yes.
And then you got on the street team and you were doing street team bullshit.
Yeah.
And then you went to FNX.
Then I went to FNX.
Did you get paid?
So what's that?
Did you get paid?
I did get paid. Yeah, I did.
You did. Okay. Was it street team?
It was a parallel move. At the time,
were you associated with the Toucher and Rich program when you were at BCN?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I got the name Intern Nick.
Okay.
And they send me and do all these bits with Adolfo, and some bits were good, some bits were bad, and it is what it is. And then apparently I stole a Batman T-shirt and skedaddled right after the premiere of the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. I got free passes from the radio station.
I was a T-shirt.
I stole a T-shirt. I stole a T-shirt from the prize closet, meaning there was a gig that night, and it was left behind in the prize bin that they give you for each event, and it was left behind. I was like, oh, it's a medium, I'm going to take it. But then it got blown up into a big thing. And then at the time, Fred and I weren't really getting along, or
so
and that's why I left.
So you left. You went to WFNX. What happened there?
I joined the street team over there, and eventually it was owned by the Boston Phoenix. So I did street team over there for a while, and then which led to a full-time gig over at the Boston Phoenix, which was, I think it was promotions coordinator or something like that. And I was there for 5 or 6 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So wait, have you ever worked another job besides radio in your life?
Oh yeah.
What have you done?
So during Toucher and Rich and WFNX, I was a manager at GameStop.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So dudes, would people try to sell you games that were counterfeit games?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, you
all the time. Yeah.
They'd be instead of Super Mario, it'd be Super Dario.
Yeah.
It's dude, you don't know about Super Dario?
Not that extreme, but sure. Absolutely. But I worked at GameStop for a while.
Talk about a ripoff that place is, right? It's dude, I just bought this Madden game for $40. Right? The new season's out. I don't want it anymore. Yeah, I'll give you $2 for it.
Yeah. I mean,
dude, I might as well fucking keep it for $2.
I mean, if you buy Red Dead Redemption, I can tell you, Red Dead Redemption 2.
What mall did you work at?
Hanover Mall, which is getting torn down right now.
Shit.
I know, it sucks.
Is Starland still out there?
Yes, it is.
Dude, that was the shit.
They got rid
boats.
Yeah, but they got rid of their driving range and put in a big complex type of situation with
batting cages there.
Yeah, they still have the
bumper cars and bumper boats.
Yeah, they still have the go-karts, which were my favorite.
So you were the fucking man of Mr. GameStop. You were the GameStop man.
I was a real hot shit.
You'd get there at 10 a.m. and close the fucking bitch down at 9.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What a time to be alive.
And then you'd go home and play video games and get stoned, right?
Yeah. I did a lot.
Of course. So you worked other jobs in between.
Yeah,
What,
yeah, absolutely.
FNX, were you just out of radio for a bit? What was going on after that period of time? Because I
When I was,
know, like I started the sports hub in 2011 or some shit.
mhm.
You weren't there.
No, I wasn't there. No, no.
No.
At, at the sports hub? No, I didn't
Yeah.
come back until 2016.
So what
But I
happened in
was
between?
in between. I was working at WFNX. That became a full-time gig with the Boston Phoenix / WFNX.
When did that end?
March 2013, when they laid us all off without severance and stuff. It was great. It was an awesome
They were
time.
like, you're all gonna get fired and you get nothing, and you're gonna like it.
That was
radio.
not a good day. But then after that, my two bosses or supervisors that who formed Boston Calling, they used to work at the Boston Phoenix, and they left the company to start Boston Calling, and
Boston Calling.
that's how I got my foot on the door, and I did that for a few years. Yeah. So, and then also I took I thought this was just to make money. I became a tech for Redbox at like 2013, movie kiosks.
Yeah, man, that's still going.
That's still going. I don't know if, like, I was thinking, who's going to be using those now after all this is done?
No, I don't want to touch anyone's shit.
Yeah, yeah. That lasted for like a few years. I was working that during TNR, and which leads us to, I think it was.
How'd you get back?
Yeah. What happened was I got a text message from Rich. I'm not really sure on the time, but I remember where I was. I was in Quincy, outside the Star Market, and I checked my phone. I haven't talked to Rich in a while. We kept, in touch throughout the years, but he texted me. He's like, "Hey, there might be an opportunity for you." And then him and I went back and he finally told me, and I said, "Absolutely, yes." And
just to set the scene, there was an employee that was full-time that you mentioned that was leaving his full-time job.
He was leaving. He was going back to school, but
they did street audio and answer phones and do other things.
He went back to school and he wanted to make a change. And at the time I was, working Redbox and not really happy with how everything was going.
And then you got the call and you were like,
and I got the call and it changed. It changed everything. So I came back and I made a point that I did not want to come back and be like the
coffee boy,
or
the laundry guy,
or the butt of every joke, even though I've mission unaccomplished. I'm still like,
so I couple of questions.
All right, sure.
Was there some making up to do or apologies that had to be made before this happened?
No. With who? With like Fred and me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Because I kind of understood. I kind of get it. There are
some people that just say shit sometimes, and like you think they're pissed, and then like after a while they don't give a fuck. And I think Fred was one of those guys. It bothered him, but then he says it, and then he gets over it. But then he holds it against you, but he doesn't care. You know what I mean? It's like it's like weird.
Back in the day at like WBC, and Fred was different. I was different. I was in radio for 2 years. I had no idea what the hell was going on. I was trying to fit in and everything. And maybe I was probably a little too sensitive when somebody was ragging on me or something.
Yeah.
So like there was one point. There was a point.
Thicker skin, you'd say?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This job,
kind of like if someone calls you out on Twitter and doesn't use the correct grammar, you'll write back to them, "Hey man, it's your YOU''RE," something like that.
Are you putting me on the spot right
now?
No,
because I do the same thing. "Hey, you fat fuck, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're an idiot." And I'm like, "It's you are, motherfucker." You know what I mean? Spell
Yes.
it right. If you're gonna come
Yeah.
at me, at least fucking get it right.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I agree.
And like that pisses me off. And we have a
But
right to defend ourselves.
yes, we do.
Because, like,
Absolutely.
don't get me wrong, okay? Like, you're behind the scenes. I'm a fucking technically behind the scene guy. I work on the air, but like, dude, I'm the guy that we need a guy. Here we go. You're looking for your drink or something.
I'm looking for the charger. My computer's going to die.
All
Hold
right,
on.
go do your thing. I'll blab for a minute. Here.
All right.
All these fucking people come at us, right? And like, yeah, we have to have thick skin. But like at the same time, you want to bust someone's balls. If they're in a dickhead, you want to be a dick back to them. That's just how it is. Now there's good rubs back and forth. Somebody wants to be like, "Hey, Murray, you idiot! Like it's actually you got it wrong. It's not a Karen. It's a fucking it's not a Chad. That's not a Chad, Murray." Like, okay, fine. It's fine. But like when you come at me personally, it's like, dude, I can't threaten you, right? Because we can't do that. So, like, what do we do? So, like, what we do is we just find some little snarky way to make them feel like dickheads or look like losers.
Yes.
Because it's the only thing we can do.
That's the best that we can do. That's,
Anyways,
can't go overboard.
Should I stick to this rundown now? So you made it to the sports hub and you're back and what's the best and worst part about street audio?
Oh, well, first, real quick, Fred and Rich did, or Fred and me did make, like, there was one point that I did bring it up, and that was our way of saying it's water under the bridge, and, but yeah, what's the worst thing about gang audio? Dealing with drunk people, of course. It's like the going out, you have to go out late after the games, but that's part of the thing. That's like a minor.
Do people know you're Nick, or do like they call you other names?
I'm not as. I guess it's a good thing. I'm not as recognizable as like, Adolfo.
Right, let's just bring up Adolfo for a second. I'm friendly.
Right.
I was friendly with Adolfo. I liked him. We got along. We did.
Yeah. I was too.
Before I worked at the sports hub, I saw Adolfo out one night. I go, "Hey, it's Adolfo. What's up, man?" He goes, "I'm not Adolfo." And I'm like,
"Why would you lie?
What the fuck, buddy?"
It's so weird.
But think about it. When he's out looking for audio, everyone sees him.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you not? Hey, it's Adolfo! Like, and you're drunk. You know what I mean? Is it like that for Nick Gemelli when you go out?
When somebody recognizes me, like, outside in public and stuff, it is cool. Even if they're drunk or something like that, it's still cool. I never got the idea of why it bothered Adolfo so much. You signed up for this. You signed up for this type of job.
So in wrestling, right? I'm a big wrestling fan.
What? Really?
Yeah. It's always about putting people over, right?
Sure.
Putting people over. Can you think of anybody that's ever put their dad over as much as you have?
Put my dad over?
Like, your dad is over, man. Like, your dad is in. People love Mark Gemelli.
I know.
You have put your father over, is what I'm saying, like in a wrestling term. Can you name any other, like, radio person, television person, that has put their dad over?
Not that I can think of. I think that I remember what I did, like when I recorded him the first time, and it was he was drunk. He's gonna get mad at me because I said I was drunk, but it was 3:00. It was Easter, and we were just sitting on his recliners, and then
hey, my heating guy's here.
Is he here?
Yeah, just bring him downstairs.
Okay.
Anyways, this is great.
No,
right. No, we're doing a podcast. All right.
Yeah,
and
he can jump on if he wants.
Just so everybody knows, I'm a homeowner. The hot water wasn't working. I didn't get a call or anything. Believe that? Fucking call me. Anyways, this is fun because we're talking about your dad. We're talking about your dad, right?
Right.
Have we put dads over before, right? And
Yes.
it's fine. It's cool that the electrician dude's here. He's going to take care of everything as we're doing a live podcast here today, and that's fine. Don't worry about it, buddy. We're good. Um, so,
There he
anyways,
goes.
hot water's not working yesterday. Okay.
Mhm.
And so the dude comes in, he looks at it, and he's like, "Oh, it's this thing. We got to get a part or whatever." Like blah blah blah. So today I go to turn the heat on, and the heat doesn't work. So I'm like, okay, this must be correlated, right? Like the heat and the hot water, like you know what I'm saying. So I call and I'm like, hey, I know you're looking for the part, but like now the heat's not working. Can you check it out? Like whatever. So they're here now. They're looking at it. So don't worry about that. Anyways, your dad.
All right.
You
Yeah,
put your
my dad.
over.
So I put my dad over. Yeah. I've never heard. Oh, bye.
Bye. There we go. Off.
It-
Anyway.
he was he was drinking on his recliner, and it was
Anyway, so where'd the idea come from? You or Rich or Fred?
no,
What?
just me.
One
Rich
day
didn't
you
know
were
anything.
sitting with your fucking dad, and you're like, I want.
And I just looked over, and I was at a good pace of finding like characters, like I think a few months before I found like Guy from Machine and Mike, like Rock and Roll Mike. So I looked over and
great characters, right?
yeah.
The guy from Machine is like amazing. And,
Like,
and dude,
Guy from Machine is my favorite
you should
person.
come up with a list, seriously. Like we know guys, like they're like we should like have a wall of fame. Like I'm dead serious. Like Chris Deroy, right? He makes all our like characters and shit. Like somehow we got to get him on the payroll. But like, imagine if he made a Rock and Roll Mike picture. A fucking, who else have you found? You mentioned Rock and Roll Mike, Guy from Machine.
Those were like the three biggest characters I've found for the show has been Rock and Roll Mike, Guy from Machine, and my dad. So I just looked at him. I pressed record, and I was just talking about Easter. I sent it to Rich without telling him anything. I just like sent. We have a system of just emailing audio clips. I just record them on my phone, and he texted me. I think he texted me that night. He's like, "Dude, what is this?" I was like, "My dad."
They loved it.
And they loved it.
They were like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
The last time it's different, right?
Like, yeah, it's totally different.
So what's the story with your old man? So are you a South Shore kid, or were you born in the North End, or he lives in the North End?
I'm a South Shore kid. I grew up in Norwell and went to high school. And
was your family together, or he just ended up in the North End? Is that how it happened?
No. What do you mean? Like
you grew up with your parents in the South Shore?
Yeah. So my parents got a divorce when I was like second or third.
Okay.
Fourth grade, around there. But
but you grew up together South Shore, essentially.
Yeah.
And then he went to that. So that's how the North End thing happened. You didn't grow up with the North End kid.
Before that, he went to high school in Marshfield, but his the family used to, were in the North End as well.
Yeah. The Gemellis.
The Gemellis.
Yeah. The old Gemellis.
Yep.
The ones that can't go to funerals.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? The Gemellis that can't go to funerals?
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There are just some.
Now you guys got inside jokes. Are you better friends with my dad?
No. You don't know about this?
No.
There are some family members, like you see the poster that I have right.
The Goodfellow one.
Yeah. Sometimes your family members can't come to like big events.
Okay.
Did you ever watch Sopranos?
We've talked about
where they arrest everybody.
What?
They arrest everybody at wakes and funerals.
Yes.
Whatever. Over your head. So you got your dad. Your dad's a character.
Yes, he's a character. He's more beloved than me. It is what it is. I created a monster. We had like the Meatballs in Manhattan party, which I witnessed my dad making out with a porn star, which was weird. In front of my
Let's have a meatballs and Manhattan party.
Yeah, it was weird.
Like, what? And the fucking station did it.
Yeah, we
in
did
2019, dude.
It was close. It was so
And now
close
look
to
at us
being.
in 2020.
I know.
In 2019,
Now everything's gone to shit.
in 2019, there was a meatballs and a Manhattan's party.
Oh, those were the days.
And in 2020, we're fucking stuck in the house.
Yep. It sucks.
Amazing.
Did you go to that party? Or no?
Nope. But I did
Why?
go to the. I did go to the old Bruins there. Got liquored up.
Oh, nice. Why didn't you go? Or should I not bring it up?
No, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Was I not invited? Maybe I wasn't. Maybe because I became an unofficial. I was kind of like the Pat Smear of the Touch and Rich program, who like would go on tour and be there, but not an official member. You know, hey, the heat's working again. I've given updates from the basement.
He changed the battery.
It's on. It's off. Anyways, meatballs in Manhattan. How good are your dad's meatballs?
They're good. They're good.
Okay, is he okay? It's on again. You know Italian food, right? Like Italian food. Like okay. So when I was a kid, my mom was a single parent, so I'd leave school and I'd have to walk home half mile or mile, whatever. And my Italian friend, the Terraras, would be like, "Hey, Jody, your mama not gonna be home, and you got to eat," you know. And I'd be like, "Your mama don't feed you, you gotta eat," you know. So I'd eat with them, and then I'd go. So I'm huge, but it's because I ate with them, and then I'd go home, and my mom would feed me. Do you get it? I'd eat after school at 2:30 Italian food, like gnocchis and the best raviolis and lasagnas and penne and like fusilli, homemade like fusilli.
Yeah.
And I'd eat that and then I'd go home and my mom would make dinner and I'd be like, yeah, 2 meals a day, kid. Not to mention the breakfast I had and the lunch.
That sounds incredible.
I was a growing man, you know.
You did look. I did see a picture of you recently with your chin strap. I was gonna say like you look like you lost. I haven't seen you.
Oh no, I'm at one point I was 420 pounds. I'm below 400 now.
Damn.
I'm like 370 and change. But
how much have you lost since the start of the
pandemic? Probably maybe 10, 15. Maybe 10 or 15. Yeah. But yeah, so dude, and long story short, this is about you. It's not about me. But when I joined the high school football team, I technically didn't get into my high school because I went to private school. I showed up to football and like my mom got me into the school, but they're like, "Oh, you're gonna play football here?" I'm like, "Yeah." I weighed in I was 6'1.5", 286 pounds.
Damn.
As a freshman in high school.
God damn.
And then I started working out my senior year. I was 6'3", 278. So I probably gained about 90 pounds in 20 years.
Oh my God.
You know what happens? The muscle turns to fat.
That's right.
And then it all goes to hell. So speaking of health, okay.
Okay.
The fuck happened? You you got sick one day.
Yeah, I got sick.
You just started dating a lovely, lovely woman. A woman.
She is now my fiance.
Your fiance.
It's so weird saying that. It's weird saying that.
Yeah, it's hard to say wife too. But Nick, and if you have a timeout, if you got to get out of here, let me know because
okay,
the heat guy here too.
I'm okay.
Anyways,
I'm fine.
So check it. Where you live now, I lived across the street from you, and we didn't even know it.
Yeah, and
we could have shared sugar like neighbors.
So what? Do I ask? Can I ask what the address was?
I lived at
542 Main Street. Okay. I'm not gonna say. Yeah, that was pretty close. It's pretty close. I don't want any,
No, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Outside. What's
up?
Like
we were that close. We could have social distance.
You told me about fusion.
Asian
taste.
Whatever, fusion taste.
Yeah, I moved up here in technically February of last year, which was I brought my TV here to watch the Super Bowl and decided that I'm not moving my TV ever again, and that's how I moved in.
I just had a TV crack on me.
Ugh, that sucks.
I'm pissed.
The big one?
Well, you know what? It's my own fault. Yeah, it was I bought it on Black Friday, man. $299, like a fucking giant 60-incher.
Oh my God.
And, the problem was they give you those stupid stand feet things. and they're
Mhm.
too
Yeah.
wide, so it doesn't fit on like a thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, we're gonna switch it up. I never switched it, and it's my own fault. Anyways, so
No.
you're working at
I'm
the
sorry.
sports. You're working at the sports hub. You got a girlfriend. You guys just start dating.
Yep.
You're at home. What
Yeah,
town? What town were you in? What town?
all right. So I moved we were dating for at this point for 4 months, and I was living in Weymouth. I just bought a place. I've sold my place and bought another one. Bought a condo in Weymouth, and it was like 3 weeks after moving in. So I started not feeling well, and uh, I think after Friday, all week I wasn't feeling well, but Friday, that's when I was just like, sick. I don't remember anything. Everything was just a big, blackout. And apparently, I was supposed to watch her run a 5 miler but during that time I wasn't really texting her back or anything, and she started getting concerned. Well, no, she started getting pissed, like really pissed. And after she ran her 5 miler, she came down and to tear me a new asshole. And she walks into the condo and walks into the bedroom, and there I was, I'm practically, I'm like talking gibberish, like not making any sense, in a bad place. And then she brought me to the hospital. And then, the
What
rest is history.
what happened? Did you get like an infection in your blood? Was it a heart
So
issue? Like what was it?
it was it's a form of it was a form
MRSA.
of like MRSA. It was
Okay.
MESA, which
So
is a less.
okay, but don't you usually get those from machines? I mean, like I've known people that have been in hospitals. So yeah, I mean, I guess you can get it anywhere. But I
Yeah,
know
I
people that
got it from a cut apparently.
so you
But
had like a semi staph infection that turned into something probably bad.
yeah,
I mean, we're guessing here, but you got sick.
yeah, I got sick, and they brought me to Brigham and Women's. I was in the ICU for like a couple of weeks, and apparently the infection like latched onto a heart valve that was like a deformed heart valve. Not real, it was like a defect. It was
Yeah.
a defect, and that spread to the rest of my body, affecting every organ essentially. And they got to the point that treatment was working, but they couldn't save the valve, so they had to have open heart surgery and swap it out with a
They
mechanical
cut
one.
you open, or do they do the?
Oh yeah, like
Oh, you got a cut and everything. Oh
yeah,
shit, huh?
yeah, it goes like down to here,
Well,
and then I have
were,
another.
were you like conscious to know that like, oh my god, I'm getting cut open, I'm fucked
I
up?
have.
So
Oh,
you don't even
during the
remember
surgery,
it, or just in general, like you were just sick, and they were like, we got to do surgery, and did you?
I was out of it for like 3 or 4 days,
And then
and
did you
then they
wake up
start.
knowing that you were going to have surgery?
Uh, Not until they were like, the treatment's not working enough, that the treatment isn't working to not require surgery.
Mm.
And then
So,
they were like, the only option is open heart surgery.
do you think it was
And I,
a bad valve? Because like people, oh, dude, family. I know all about it. My family has it. Like families have it. It's something that's passed down for years. Do you think it was the staph infection, or did you think you had a valve issue that they caught at an early time?
what when it came to like the staph infection, I know this probably doesn't answer your question, but if she didn't come find me like within 24 hours, I would be dead. I wouldn't be here. It was that serious. So,
But
the defect,
do you think it was a heart thing or it was the infection?
it was no, it was the infection.
Okay.
I could
Yeah.
have been, I would have been fine.
Well, like, dude,
I think eventually,
you didn't call anybody. You just stayed there and took over your brain, your nervous system. Like you're
yeah, yeah,
fucking
it was,
crazy, man. So we
yeah.
know that they put a new valve in. They put like some sort of, was it not a pacemaker? Is it a pacemaker? What they put in?
No, it's like a mechanical heart valve, which it just goes with the flow of the
And
blood. It's not
you
like
feel great now? Any issues? Any cardio? Anything?
The only thing I really have to watch is my INR, which is like the thickness of my blood. I am technically high risk, so with all this corona stuff going on,
You don't want to get sick.
I do have to. I have to be careful.
Extra careful.
But I have to take blood thinners for the rest of my life and just watch what I eat. You know, don't eat too much like vitamin K because it's bad for it thickens your blood. But I gotta get my blood drawn like every 3 weeks. I haven't gone in a while because I'm kind of nervous.
All right. Hey, listen, people wanted to know, right? This is
What?
we can joke about it because it's funny now, right? You saved your life. Your girlfriend found you. Like I want to get into this in a minute here because we're dealing in a pandemic, but like, dude, you were gone for a bit. People were like, "What the fuck is going on with Nick?" Right? Like, all of a sudden, one day, I'm like, "Dude, Nick's like having major surgery and like hire the fucking mechanical heart valve."
I haven't listened to those shows. Like, I don't want to.
So like you know how it's Nick in his coma.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coma Nick.
Were they really saying that?
I don't know. I'm assuming that's what it was. But
since then, it's like nearly dead Nick.
We all cared. Tucker.
Yeah.
I can't say Tucker. I can't do it.
Yeah, Tucker
Silva. And forget when if I'm with Sean Silver and Tucker Silva, it's over. Forget it. Fuck it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can't. Yeah. Anyways, people wanted to know that story. You're living. You're great. You feel good. You
I feel better.
Watch your shit. And you're planning a wedding during a pandemic.
Yes, we are.
How is that going?
It's going fucking awful. Well, no, it's fine. It's going it in all seriousness, it's going okay. It's
You're controlling it the best you can under the circumstances then.
Yeah, we are. We have like a venue, but it's kind of tough with like it's kind of tough just picking out the right date. Like we had original date, but now it's like might be too expensive for people.
Right? Like, well, no. Okay, let me give you a couple pieces of advice.
Okay.
I'm not a guy like this. Isn't everything I say is the right way or whatnot. Just remember, this is about you two. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna worry about everybody else, like let them worry about it and figure it out. You got so much other shit to worry about that day. You got to worry about yourself, your health, and you got to show up. You know what I mean? You can't drink. You're gonna party your ass off once it's over.
So you didn't drink on your wedding day?
No, I got fucking hammered after.
You didn't do any shots or anything like that. You didn't have any like one drink. Hello, I'm in the bathroom.
but I'm being serious here. Worry about yourself. Don't worry about everybody else.
Oh no.
Because what I mean by it is like hotels and shit like that.
That's our main concern.
These people will figure it out. Hey, you give them an option. They'll figure it out. Maybe your friends will get an Airbnb for a weekend. Maybe all I'm trying to tell you is when it comes to this shit, sometimes in reality, it's never about you and her. It's always about everybody else. For you that weekend, just worry about you, put a plan in place, and let everyone else figure it out.
Yeah, we're trying.
We're doing. You're a worrywart.
I am. I haven't freaked out at all. We've been on for an hour. Yeah. I haven't freaked out.
So you're getting married. There's a pandemic going on. You guys are trying to plan a wedding.
Yeah.
And has there been any? Well, we can't do this now, or like our families aren't. Like how are you handling this?
So we have pushed back our plans per se. Luckily, we're not. There's a lot of other people that are in horrible positions, like they're changing the wedding dates. With people that have a wedding in 2020 are now pushing them to 2021, which is kind of screwing us up.
Their money back, but that's a different story.
Yeah. So originally we wanted to do January or February, like a winter wedding of 2021, and then it became a spring, and then finally we landed on fall 2021. And it seems like you know, a lot of people are just rescheduling for early 2021 with their weddings, but we haven't committed to any venue per se. There hasn't been there's been holds on dates, but no hard deposit.
Hey, listen, you can just get married now and have a big party later.
That's true.
Save all the money towards the
We've been thinking about it because we have been stressed out,
right?
Like,
Fuck, why go through all that stress, dude? For one night, like I'm just gonna throw out numbers: $30,000 for one night. Pfft, see ya.
I know, everything is so expensive.
Think about the party you could have, dude. Oh, open bar with whoever you want. Heat's going. Boom.
That's the one thing I want. It's just like I would like an open bar. I don't want. You know.
Open bar is where it's at, and then
Yeah.
you'll have someone carry you back to your room.
Fred said if I don't have an open bar, then you know.
Quick story about mine. We get back. We ended up going to the Kowloon, and
Shocker.
Yeah, we had people take us to the Kowloon. I had 2 scorpion bowls, and I was fucked up.
Yeah,
and I was like, I want to go back. I'm tired.
So
So you could hang out in like this like area, like they like let people hang out in like an area. So we were like drinking beers, fucking hanging out. And I took my shoes off. It's 3:30 in the morning. I just started smoking weed right in the middle of the fucking hotel.
Hell yeah!
I'm like, I dare someone to tell me no right now.
Hell yeah!
You know, I was like, it's my fucking night. I don't care right now. And
so what's up? What is up with the Kowloon? They're opening up this week. Is there going to be like a drive-through?
It depends on if there is. And again, the reports say here that there's going to be outside dining soon.
All right. Well, sweet.
I don't know when exactly, but they want to do an outdoor kind of like tailgate situation with like a car hop.
I love it.
And that'd be cool.
Car hop.
We can drink scorpion bowls and fucking.
It's very grease-like.
Mai Tai or scorpion bowl. What about you? How about you?
What's that?
One or the other, Mai Tai or scorpion bowl?
Neither. I want a zombie.
Ooh, there you go.
Zombies.
Maybe we'll start getting.
They get the job done, man.
Zombie. I'm gonna tell them. Can we call it the Gemelli special?
Gemelli special.
Zombie.
Blackout.
Well,
I can repeat from the encore the other night.
Zombies and Manhattans. It could be the name of the fucking Halloween party in the North End.
Hey, I appreciate you not posting that photo of me at the encore, by the way.
I always use a photo of somebody, and I was asked if I wanted it. I said yes, and I fucking forgot.
What do you mean?
I got called in today. If I didn't get called in today, that photo would have been up.
Oh.
And by the way, I don't own the photo, just so you know.
I know you don't. I would rather it not being out there. Okay. Like Bird tweeted that out for like 5 seconds, and I ran into the other room and was like, "You should fucking take that down."
I want to get Bird on the podcast at some point.
You should.
I'm letting things, we're quarantined.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on right now in everybody's lives, and we just one thing at a time, right?
I miss that kid. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, and he got mentioned a few times today on the show.
He did.
Like now, it's gonna be like if you do it, they're not gonna blame somebody else. Anyways, tell hello, hi.
Joe says hi.
Hey. Last time I saw her, I was trying to stuff you guys in an Uber.
He said the last time he saw us together, he was helping us, stuffing us into a Uber, and it wasn't her finest. Yeah,
but I was. Hey, first impression. Actually, wouldn't be my first impression, but
we were talking the first time you met her.
If Rich is still watching, we were talking about that night last night. I was here. And I got liquored up. I had my collar up. I was fucking dancing. I was doing the dance, the airplane dance, man.
Yeah.
I was liquored up that night. And I guess
me too.
I guess I almost got into a fight. And then I guess somebody was saying something about you. And then the wife started yelling at them. This is
really?
I was told last night.
So your wife had my back. I appreciate that.
And then I started, and then so she's yelling at them, and I'm like, "Hey, chill out." And they're like, "Hey, you Joe Murray from the sports?" I was like, "Yeah,
that's right."
I think you remember this, right?
Yes, I do.
I was like yelling at them, and they're like, "Hey, you Joe?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
I remember hearing it. I don't remember seeing it.
Anyways,
I was sleepy.
summer concerts, man.
Yeah.
They're not going to happen
Stuff-
this year.
No, they're not at all. Rammstein, but that was, September, and that's still up in the air. But Slipknot, my guilty pleasure of bands, was supposed to play.
What'd you think of Stone Sour?
They sucked.
Because I'm looking at you through the glass.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time has
Troy
passed.
Taylor, come on, man.
I don't feel like forever.
My dad is the only one chatting in this, and it's hilarious.
I sometimes don't look, so I'm glad you're looking.
I'm looking. It's just like I see it.
God is good. Infection
Infection.
went to his heart. Every organ was infected. The doctors were great. It was Tucker's fault. Drive through Arby's. Whoa.
What is he talking about? Hello, I'm in the bathroom. Me
That's
too.
rich.
Open
That's
bar.
rich. Me too. Open bar. So Pup's gonna have to fucking pay up.
Yeah.
And then the missus, because she must have said hi.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I gotta save up on. Like I think I have to pay for the DJ, and
I know a guy. Unless you got a guy, I know a guy. You know a guy.
You know a guy.
I know a guy.
Can he go up all the way up to Booth Bay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. My guy was good. Straight cash homie.
Oh, straight cash. Oh, great.
Talk about that another day.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So concerts.
Okay.
There's supposed to be some big ones, man. Obviously Boston Calling.
Yeah, that's
Rage Against
called
the
off.
Machine, the Foo Fighters.
Yep.
All those guys. Great Scott. Have you ever been to that venue? It's closing.
Never went. Never experienced Great Scott, but it sucks that they're closing down. That's definitely a shame.
What's your favorite concert venue? I'll give you mine while you think. Avalon. There was nothing better.
Oh, that was a great venue. Yeah.
Dude, like, okay, I one time literally was front row for a Chris Cornell solo show. And for some reason, Sum 41 opened up for him. They were really good live. And I don't know, maybe it was the venue.
I saw 311 there. It was like a WBCN show. What band have you seen the most?
Stone Temple Pilots, I think.
How many times? It's not a bad one.
Man, over 10.
Okay. I've seen 311 16 times.
Holy shit, you really like them that much?
I was a huge 311 fan back in the day.
Chill.
Yeah, chill.
Energy. Yeah. So yeah, STP is the most I've seen. I love Alice in Chains, but unfortunately, I've never seen them. But I have seen Jerry Cantrell multiple times. Who's the guitarist?
Cool.
I'm trying to think. Tool. I've seen a bunch. I went again this year. That was fun.
Oh, you and I did.
We were there
together.
That's right.
Yep. That was a great show.
It's a great show. Great show because they kicked your ass. First 4 songs, you knew every one of them.
Oh yeah.
And it was like
we were in the box. We were in the 98.5, the Sports Hub suite.
Drinking fucking White Claws.
Drinking
Trulies or whatever it was.
Trulies, whatever.
Yeah, man. The 2020 days drinking White Claws, the bag.
Like the Garden has like 32-ounce Trulies. Yeah. They're so big and they get you so drunk.
So when you were doing like FNX and shit, okay. So all right, just hear me out. Just roll with it.
I'm here.
Okay. So I was born in 82. Okay. And like growing up, it was like Whitney Houston, Madonna bullshit. Then the New Kids on the Block started hitting. And, there was all the good, like, Phil Collins, Jenna, all that good stuff. Peter Gabriel, you name it. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we start hitting the 90s and like, Mariah Carey. And I'm just talking pop. Okay. I haven't even gone to the good stuff yet.
Yeah.
Then like NWA comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And in 92, I'm listening to rap music by Dr. Dre. And I'm like, okay. Like I'm obsessed with this shit. Obsessed. Okay. Like, ain't nothing but a G thing, like all that. Yep. And then I start dipping back in the NWA and all that. And I'm like, okay, rap. and I grew up in an urban neighborhood, so I don't know. Then all of a sudden, like 1993, 94, like Nirvana's the biggest thing going in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And like all of a sudden, I loved Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and like all these grunge bands.
Yeah.
And then like 96 is like the Unplugged, or 94, like I'm listening to Nirvana Unplugged. And like 95, 96, 97, Smashing Pumpkins and like SDP are coming out. And then like 98, I'm loving Korn and fucking Limp Bizkit and
Yeah.
Rage, And then
I love Korn.
And then I'll admit it. I liked Creed. I don't care what anybody says. I thought they were really good when they first came out because they weren't that like what albums shit, and then I don't know, 2000, like Linkin Park came out and Stained, and like butt rock, right? Like butt rock really came out. The fucking Chevelles, the Puddle of Muds, the shit, the real shit. Theory of a Dead Man, Nickelback, like real shit. But then emo came along.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know if it was like Blink 182 that started it, because they're pop punk, okay? Pop punk.
Yep.
But like all of a sudden, just like Newfound Glory and like all these bands just started coming,
like
and then
My Chemical Romance.
Yes. And like all this emo shit just started getting stuffed down our throat.
Yeah.
But I liked Dashboard Confessional, and I don't know if I was in an emo state of mind or whatnot.
Now Dashboard is
Phoenix TX
good.
And like fucking but so I had a friend who was in a emo pop punk band. They were called they were called Far Away and then Stay the Night. And they were like friends with like the Starting Line and fucking Brand New.
Mm-hmm.
And like all of a sudden I loved Brand New. Like the Deja album with the fucking Martian Man or whatever on it. That's like one of the best albums.
Yeah.
How you feel about it?
I agree. I agree. Deja was my that was the first album that I really got into, which made me love Brand New. And then but my favorite album from them was the Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me, and it's super long, but it's a super heavy. They kind of came like pushed away from the emo scene with that album, and then they released 2 more albums out after that. But
wait, real quick about the emo thing. So, and I didn't mention this, but there were boy bands too, like the boy bands, the Backstreet Boys, then NSYNC.
Like you were into them?
No, but they were big, like TRL.
Yeah.
And then like Eminem was huge, but from like 2000 on, man, like music became bad.
Yeah,
like 50 Cent became big, and I'm not shitting on him, but like 50 Cent was like big, like Ludacris was big, and Nelly, and I want to get into that too. But like all these, it was just kind of like it all started fading, right? Like rock music faded, like so something new came out, and it was emo.
Yeah, well, I think we're going through that phase right now with new music, and just like these times, it's just. There's no good. You're seeing a bunch of you're seeing WAAF and all these other rock radio stations like fall off the map. It's just because nothing.
Were you like a Fall Out Boy fan or like?
Hell yeah, that was the worst concert I've ever seen.
But like the Used and shit, Taking Back
the
Sunday.
Used, Taking Back Sunday, the Used. What else? Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy. I'm trying to think of who else. Remember Good Charlotte?
Yeah. But they weren't. They were like not really emo.
Something Corporate. Say Anything.
Say Anything. Yep.
Death Cab for Cutie.
Death Cab is still good. Their albums.
AFI.
Postal Service.
Yeah, Postal Service. Yellow Card. I don't know if you thought that there, but
that was a good one. They had a violinist.
But like, what happened to emo music after that?
It just faded. Unfortunately, because
like it was a fad, dude, and it just
it did. It did just went away real quick, just like ska. Ska music, like Real Big Fish, and
Real Big Fish was like the shit in 90.
They're
5?
Still touring too. That poor guy.
That Sell Out song was like so good.
Yeah, that album was so good.
That album,
yeah,
that album was great. you're also into like Star Wars and like Avengers and like Marvel and
Yeah,
all that shit.
Marvel mainly. Yes.
Okay, so like I liked X-Men. Remember the old X-Men movies with like
Hugh
Halle Berry?
Jackman.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman and all those. Like,
Yeah.
why,
Not really.
why
I
should I watch
wasn't.
this shit? Like, why? Like,
You haven't? Well,
no, man, no,
you haven't seen any of the Captain Americas or
no, the new ones, no. The
oh my
last I've
goodness.
seen was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's.
All right. Well, if you
And like
haven't seen
obviously
any,
the Batman's, you know.
well, the Batman, well, that's DC. That's that's totally fine. But you don't see any of the new DC movies. They're not good. It's not even worth the time. But if you've never seen any of the Marvel's cinematic universe movies, like it starts with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, and I would go online, just look it up, watch them in like perfect order. So the first movie that you would see is Captain America, the first Avenger, and then it goes to Captain Marvel, and then Iron Man, and then Iron Man 2. It's like perfect order.
Yeah, I can't.
That will kill. You can't do it? No, you gotta try. You're not even trying.
Nope.
You gotta do it. You can pull that stuff. What do you have? You
I got it all.
got cable.
I
You got it all? All right.
I got the sports package.
Oh, look. Well,
Actually, I have every single channel in the world.
do you have Disney Plus?
No, dude.
Oh,
There's
okay.
this thing for $12.99 a month. I can get Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and something else.
Yeah. Well, why haven't you done that?
Because I
Then you have something to watch. If all else, if you can't find anything else on TV, then you have something to go to. You're like, all right, I guess I'll watch Iron Man 2 or something. You just take it like write it off the list. Check right off the list. That's all. I'm not pressuring you, but I'm saying, they're not horrible movies.
maybe I'll do it.
No, you're not going to do it. But
let's talk beer.
All right.
Like you love all this craft beer shit. I see you always like taking it in the house and like, oh, look what I got from Trillium today, and like,
yeah, I'm wearing my Trillium hat.
So when did this beer thing change for you? Like, I was a Bud Light guy and I like a Guinness at the bar. But like, when did all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's try this sour and there's fucking hops and grain and bullshit?
I think it became like I didn't want to have like the same thing over and over again. I was getting bored. I think this really started like when I started dating Brittany, because she was heavy into that, and I was more like a Coors Light or
a woman's gonna like. You might think they might turn you into wine, right?
Yeah.
But it's like all of a sudden
she's not much of a wine person.
Yeah.
We just started getting into wine like when this pandemic started. Like we have 3 bottles of wine waiting for us to crack open. But she was into the craft beers more than me, and then I started really getting into them. I don't drink them that often now, but I'm any opportunity to drink like a Trillium stout. Like I love stouts or something from Night Shift. I take that opportunity. They're delicious beers, and the places to drink them are pretty damn cool. It's a good environment.
I went to a brewery. I went up to Framingham one day, and I went to Jack's Abbey in Springdale.
Yeah,
and had a blast. I was fucking playing. What?
Yeah, they have those like cornhole.
Had a blast. Brought my own food in. They had a couple of sour. I'm a sour beer guy. I'm. Man, it just fills me up.
It does,
dude. I could have like 2 of those fuckers, and I don't know. Maybe for you, it's like what, 1 pint, and you're like fucking feeling it. Is that how it is?
The beer that I'm drinking that I really like now is called Harpoon Rec League. It's from it's from Harpoon. Obviously, I said that weird, but Harpoon has a beer called Rec League, and it's just like it's super light. It's it doesn't fill you up, but it's really tasty, and that's what I've been going to. But everything else, I like Mast Landing, There's that's a brewery up in, I think it's in Maine. They have my favorite style called Gunner's Daughter that's made with like peanut butter and chocolate and all this stuff, and but some beers are get a little too cute. They have throw in a little pack in a little
I
too
don't need a
much flavor.
fucking Snickers beer. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like I'll
We
fucking
just got-
throw a Snickers. I'll eat a Snickers bar while I drink a beer if I want that.
We just got what is it? Not a stout, but a porter that's brewed with Mary Lou's coffee, and it has like the Mary Lou's logo and everything like that. It's okay, but now you're seeing a lot of these.
People on the North Shore don't know what Mary Lou's is.
I know, and you guys are missing
But
out.
people on the South Shore don't know what roast beefs are.
Yeah, that's true.
I've
lived here a few. I've only had Bill and Bob's. That's the only place I've gone to.
On your street across from the old Dairy Dome. Fucking tremendous.
What is it called?
On your street, Royals.
Oh, we've had it. Yeah, we order Royals a lot. Like so much, and it's great because they're here in 30 minutes. We're like, if we're in a bind and we both don't want to cook dinner, we like cook dinner like Monday.
I'm out on Andreas. So no offense, like the little plaza over there, okay, like whatever. But up the street there's another place, the old sub shop there, Anthony's, not bad, and the butcher shop there is fucking great. And they know me in there. They write shit on my beef. They'll always be like Felger sucks or something on there.
I went in there. I name dropped you.
You did.
I went in there for audio because I was doing a bit. Yeah, I name dropped. I was like, Joe Murray told me to come down here. He said you guys were reliable, and I think I recorded with them. Actually, I don't know if I did or not, but I name dropped you, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he comes in."
Oh no, they know me there. Trust me. I buy a lot of people. I buy a fucking prime rib every year from those guys.
I feel like they mentioned that too.
I think my heat's fixed because I can feel the heat.
Are you starting to sweat?
I'm a sweater. I'm not a lift shaft sweater though.
I heard smoking cigarettes, cures that.
Oh yeah. Okay, what else we got on this rundown here? Beer.
Yeah, and that's
Marvel movies. So there's no feast in the North End this year. So like, what's the old man gonna do?
He's just gonna sit there in his new recliner. He's just gonna sit there.
Okay. Not to talk about your dad again, but did you go to the North End? Did you go to the North End and like party in the North End and all that shit? And, like do all that with him?
When I was a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you always
there
went
for
weekends or whatever.
I don't remember going down there for. I feel like we did, but I don't really remember it. It's like fuzzy, moments in my childhood. But I do remember like us going into the North End and spending time there during like.
I fucking go to the North End and I'm like, oh my god, the fuck! Like the North End for me is like we're hitting up Modern and getting the fuck out, or Mike's, and we're getting, or like Bova's at 24 hours in the morning.
Yeah,
and I'm starving.
That's the best place to go. Of all the places, you gotta go to Bova's.
Like that's that, because the North End freaks me out. If there's a fire there, God bless your father. But if like I'm worried about the fucking fire truck fitting down the street. Like
he lives on a road. He lives on a road that's pretty wide, so it's not like one of those side streets.
Still freaks me out. Hey, did you watch any of the Jordan documentary?
No. I'm so proud that I haven't.
A bit. Okay, they had a really good soundtrack. I'd suggest, besides the Pearl Jam at the end. Also, I was going to ask you if you noticed Michael Jordan's eyes were always red. Most people that I see when their eyes are red they usually stoned.
Yeah. So, well, I wouldn't be shocked if he was.
I wouldn't be either. That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, the greatest basketball player of all time probably smokes weed too.
Greatest of all time. He can smoke weed he wants. Who are we to, judge?
Anything else that because we are going to play a couple of games.
All right, let's get to the game.
I want to ask you one question.
Okay.
So I was in for a shift one day where they were like, everybody write something down or like do something My take was Julian Edelman wasn't a Hall of Famer.
Right.
And we you know what it was is people were doing like rants just to like get fucking clicks. And so they're like, all right, everyone write a rant down. So I wrote one down and it's just sports related.
I
But like
took it to another direction.
Bird talked about something else, and then like you fucking just started going at everyone you worked with.
Everybody just
What happened?
Everybody just that day specifically. Just a lot of people like on the show. It's just they get on my nerves, and you know that's what happened. Rich got on my nerves.
Around the holidays,
Dan got on my nerves. What's that?
It's around the holidays.
Oh, it was. I was super stressed. Everybody like I was stressed, and Dan said to I remember Dan said something to me that day in the morning under his breath, and it set me off so badly. Yeah, I was so pissed, and it just kept on piling up. But that was like the primer.
All
and
right.
so we did the bit. We did the bit, and I wrote everything down, but I was so mad that I couldn't.
And I was pointing to you about reading the paper.
Yeah, you were trying to help me, but I was so lined with rage that I couldn't form a sentence at all. And it was like I was saying Dan prick. Dan a prick. I called Rich. I drove down. I remember what I was mad with Rich about. I drove down to Rhode Island to the Comic-Con, which is a pain in the ass because you're with a ton of people and super hot. And I wanted to get some audio, and I was like, Rich gives me a lot of the times. Rich will give me the stuff that he wants for the show, and he wasn't getting back to me. And then I left after 3 hours, and then 2 hours after I got home, he texted me a bunch of stuff, and I was just already mad and everything. And Fred was gone that day, and Bird was being Bird, and I don't know.
All right, so real quick, I don't want to get. All right, let's just talk about it. For those who don't get the Toucher and Rich show, I'm going to give you it from my point of view, and then you agree or disagree, or you give your point of view.
Sure.
So
is this a game?
Rich gets up early, looks for topics, stories, and audio, and records a bunch of stuff. And then when he gets it, he'll kind of like send it to Mike Lockhart to come in and cut it up so they can do bits out of it. And then they'll set it up. So like, you know, they'll start the show with blah bullshit and, hey, what happened last night? And kind of do that until 7:00. 7:00 comes around and it's like, hey, what are we going to do today? Or like, you know, there'll be a couple of guests an hour. But realistically, the show is what happened last night in sports, and then let's get to the fun stuff. And Rich does but it's really trying to get Fred's reaction. Would you agree?
Yeah. So in a way, like Fred, it does not listen to any of the audio before it goes on the air because we want like a natural reaction. That's always been, you know, since the beginning of the show, that's always been the format, like street audio and you know, stuff on TV or anything like that. If it's funnier when Fred doesn't know what's coming, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's kind of like you want to get the instant reaction.
Yeah, instant reaction.
And
like Rich and I know.
And then Wallach's there to like, you know, chime in, blah, 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 you know, kind of get a little bit more deeper on how people's feelings. And then they get
step over bits.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I'm kidding. I love John.
No, John's been a veteran for years.
Yes,
but Dan's the one who fucking pokes the bear. Right?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong.
Don't say.
He's the maestro, too.
He is.
But he's a poker. He's got a little fucking poking stick, you know?
He is a fucking ball buster. He is like...
But I think he's a great dude. I actually really love working with him.
I like him a lot. I worked with Dan for...
But he knows how to get under your skin, and
he can get under somebody's skin so fast.
Like
to me,
he sees you and he just starts smiling because he knows.
because
Yeah,
I'm an easy
some
target.
people. Yeah, there's just some people. I
I'm
just
too
wanted,
nice.
just wanted to share that about the show.
Yeah.
It's not. The show is authentic.
Yeah.
It's the closest thing to reality radio we have in the city
Yeah.
compared to any other show.
There's no other show like it.
There's no way that if something's going on in your life, it's somehow not exposed on the internet or talked about on the air.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Isn't enough said?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on. We
Yes.
we do a segment called Murray's Musings here,
All right.
and
All right.
no, we don't have to get to the beat or anything like that. I'm looking for that. Okay, here we
There's
go.
a beat. Oh, look at that.
Jake Murray's got all sorts of stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back,
cool.
relax, and get your mind in the game. All right, ready?
Right.
Your thoughts on Zoom meetings?
I'm so sick of them. I'm like, I at the beginning, it was cool to interact with your friends and everything like that because you can't be near anyone right now. But it's just way too much screen time. You know what I mean? It's just like you can only look at a screen so much, and like if you're spending the majority of your day looking at a screen, then 8 o'clock at night, what are you going to do? You're going to look at a screen and talk to your friends, but the only difference is you're having a drink in your hand. I'm just really getting
yeah, like people having Zoom parties and Zoom hangouts and let's drink together in Zoom.
yeah.
I guess this is technically, well, it's not Zoom, but
I mean,
it's a stream. We're streaming.
It's a lot of streaming, a lot of computer time. I would like to go back to seeing my friends in person, and even if it's 6 feet away, like I want to go down to Marshfield this weekend and see a few of my friends, like some kind of gathering.
Can I give you one that I'm out on?
What?
I don't like when you send a text anymore and people can like the text and not respond.
Oh, I love that. I think it's great. Oh, it's so good because you let the person know. It's because you let the person know that you.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah. No. Anyways, okay. Moving on. Did you see the Ludacris or Nelly debacle?
No.
Ludacris beat Nelly in a fucking wrap off.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad because I like Ludacris. I like him better than Nelly. Nelly only.
Nelly was, if you want to take a ride with me, 3 women.
Yeah.
Please.
No, I want Luda. Luda.
If you want to go get high with me, smoke a L in the back of the Benzie.
Oh, why? Hey, must be the money.
Hey,
when did this go down?
Must be Joe Murray. This weekend. I believe it was this past weekend. Hey, what's the best Marshfield beach?
Wrexham. Hands down. Close second is Burke's Beach in Green Harbor.
What's the one across from Venus Pizza there?
No, that's not right. I don't. Brant Rock. Well, that's Brant Rock.
Yeah. I like Hummer Rock, but I was told that's in Situate.
Yes, it is. Get your facts straight.
I can't believe that.
I've
been going to fucking Hummer Rock. July 3rd, Hummer Rock Beach.
That's
back in the early 2000s.
I asked Tucker the other day. He didn't give me an answer. What the deal is with the 3rd July this year? Is it happening? Are we allowed to do it? We're probably not allowed to do it, but that is what's that?
Tucker lives there?
Where? He lives in Marshfield.
Oh, okay. I had friends in Hummer Rock, dude. We used to just walk into random houses. Just walk up and down the beach with fires. That's all it was.
I mean, 3rd July is Hummer Rock to Brant Rock. It's just that strip, and then it's fireworks all over the place.
Man, I used to hang at Venus too. Go to that little fucking ice cream shop there.
I think they closed that one's closed right next to it.
Okay, I used to go. I used to literally. My buddy worked at the Lobster Tail. Lobster.
Yeah, it's now called. What is it called? The Jetty. That's what it's called, I believe.
Oh, the Jetty, huh? Oh well.
It's good. It's all right.
Okay.
It's fine.
What's the best food in the North End?
Best food? I mean, best restaurant per se?
Restaurant.
What is my dad's favorite restaurant? I think it's called Bocce's.
What's your
Bocce's
favorite? What's your favorite restaurant?
There's a place called the Cantina Restaurante. It's a restaurante. I think it's I don't know, Cantina. It's on Hanover Street. It's like a staple in the North End. I've gone there a few times in the past and enjoyed it. I also like Bocce's. I think that's what it's called. My dad goes there like all the time, or used to go there all the time. I've gone to Table, Jim Royal's place, and that was pretty good. Different type of format, but if I have to pick one, then it's a Cantina.
All right, and this is how we wrap up the show here. I appreciate your time. I didn't know I was gonna. I mean, people thought you wouldn't even make it 3 minutes. You believe that shit?
Yeah.
Seriously though, like, you weren't gonna make it 3 minutes. Okay. How's your phone? You're good?
I think it's the plumber. So this is perfect timing.
Get it.
All right, hold on.
Answer it.
Hello. Hey, it's Kevin with ASAP Drinks. Hi, how are you? Good. I'm heading over to Storm right now. I should be there in just about 10 minutes. Sounds great. I'll see you then. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
How about that?
Perfect timing.
We both got to do our podcast and got our shit done.
We're getting our shit done. I'm very excited. What a time to be alive. Thank you for having me on. This was great. I can't believe it's been an hour and
hey, killed it, and then you can go to sleep after the plumber.
Yes.
Quarantine. What shows are you currently watching, Nick?
I am watching 30 Rock. I've never seen it before, so I've been watching that. What other shows have we been watching? We're rewatching Breaking Bad.
Do you like Dave?
What's that?
Dave.
Oh my God. Dave is our favorite show right now.
Love it.
Or when it was on, but now it's re-signed.
What did you think of the last episode?
It's awesome.
Yeah, me too.
Second to last episode is awkward.
Sucks. I'm sorry if he's listening to me at all. Charlemagne, the radio guy. Remember he went into the radio station?
Yes.
And he was like, "Well, little Dicky, what are you, like some white rapper? Like, blah. Like, oh, you need a black guy to talk for you?" I was like, "Fuck you, buddy. Fuck are you?"
Yeah. I love Dave. That show is good.
Show's
Oh,
great.
Devs is another great show. That's like a limited series. So
did you watch Dead to Me at all?
Dead to Me, no.
This is a Dead to Me 2 now with Christina. Oh, there's you go. You can watch one. Tell Brittany.
Watch
Dead to Me.
If you want to watch a movie, Extraction with Chris Helmsworth.
Ooh, like
excellent movie.
Like an extraction from your body.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a mercenary that is hired to get this kid out of this kid was kidnapped, and he was the mercenary is hired to get that kid back, essentially.
2 shows. Dead to Me, Insecure.
Insecure. Is that on HBO?
With Issa Rae.
Okay.
Tell Brittany to Joey my recommendation.
Okay, I will. We need new shows.
In the half hours, dude. Half hours.
Oh yes. Best
Boom. Get in, get out. What's your go-to snack right now?
Her and I are really into these pretzels that are filled with peanut butter and also Oreos and cheese sticks.
So that sounds interesting to me. I have been on a Welch's Fruit Snacks binge.
Mm-hmm.
And this weekend I bought a package of Gushers.
Ooh.
And Fruit by the Foot.
Fruit by the Foot. Wow.
And if you go
Where did you find those?
Target.
Oh my goodness.
2 for $4.
Oh man. Treat yourself.
Exactly. I know. That's been another one. What's your favorite frozen food, Nick?
I mean, pizza. I love pizza, but I'm trying to think what's in my fridge right now. We have a Uno's pizza frozen right now, but I don't know if that counts. Does that count?
Uno's is great.
Oh, the Uno's deep dish pizzas are my go-to, fresh or frozen.
I like French bread pizzas. But if you could get me Tostino's pizza rolls or like a Hot Pocket.
Yeah.
You know what? No, it really went out of stuff. That's not good anymore.
What?
Celeste pizzas.
Celeste,
Those little like fuckers. You 4 minutes in the microwave. No, no more. No,
no more. You're
out.
out.
Had one recently. Out.
Out.
But the Elios, I'll still fucking.
Yeah, I'll eat those. Those are
man.
good drunk eating.
Yeah. Finally, Nick, what is the most obscure purchase you have made during quarantine?
All right. I've been buying a lot of masks. Like those, they're popping up everywhere on my feed. But I'm looking through my order. Let's see. Golf balls, practice golf balls.
Oh, yep.
Let's see. I bought Tupperware.
You golf?
What's that?
You golf?
I'm starting to get into it.
Oh, okay. Well, I like to drive the cart and drink and smoke.
Essentially what I want to do too. But I got a fabric shaver, a fuzzball pill lint remover.
That's obscure. Very
That
good.
is very obscure. And I hate pills. I hate little fuzz balls. And I bought that and it's been great. I actually depill this entire couch one day. So that's where I'm at. Gotta kill the time now somehow.
All right. We made it 100 and wait. 60s 120 141 minutes.
I know. I'm sending this to Rich. I'm gonna take a photo.
16. Wait, I'm not good with math. 2 hours. Ah, fuck. We almost did 2 hours, dude. Well, no, we did 100 minutes. 100.
It's
11.
90. Minutes. So we did 100 minutes.
101 minutes.
101 minutes.
101 minutes.
This has been great.
Yeah. Anything else that we didn't discuss that you want to discuss?
I feel like we covered everything, and I would love to come on again.
Now listen,
in the future.
Real quick.
Yes.
Next time you have a sink issue, you got to buy Drano.
We've tried that.
Okay, so you tried. Okay.
Yes, we tried. We bought like a special Drano, but the heavy duty one that's already in a bag, and you rip open the bag, and then it's the bottle, and then you have to carefully pour it in, and if there's any splashback, it could cause blindness. Like we're talking very serious stuff, and that still didn't work. So the plumber should be here any moment. So I'm really excited about it.
Okay. Where do you see the Toucher and Rich show where do you see you in 5 years?
Oh, I have no idea. Like, if I'm, I don't know. Hopefully, at a job that I love, and I do love working for the show.
Oh, what a fucking soft answer.
Sorry.
You should try to get into like some sort of video stream editing thing.
I would like to.
Because like I wanted to do this podcast because it's on a stream.
Yeah,
it's video. Granted, it's audio, but it's video. And like if you can edit clips and like
there are plans to improve Twitch, but like the Toucher and Rich Twitch, but everything's kind of placed on hold for right now. So who knows what's going to happen.
All right, young Nicholas, enjoy your plumbing. Make sure all your snakes get your plum.
I have to find a mask.
Yeah, go get a mask.
Yeah.
And, tell Brittany about the shows we discussed.
We're all in this together,
Yep, and good luck with the wedding.
Thank you.
The wedding planning, and remember what I said. Don't worry about everybody else. Worry about you. If fucking the hotel says it's 3 nights, say, hey, you have an option for 3 nights. But my suggestion is go rent an Airbnb, fuckers, and don't bother me about it.
I like how that's worded too. I'm going to use fucker.
Hey, you can stay here for 3 nights over Memorial Day weekend or whatever, Columbus Day weekend for $300 a night, or go find yourself somewhere else, you motherfuckers. How about that?
I'll put that on the card.
Just think about it. You gave them an option.
I gave them an option.
That's all we can do. Pay the fucking option. Go get an Airbnb.
That's right. Boom.
Everyone knows everybody, right? Rent a fucking house.
Yeah,
It's cheaper than $300, I bet.
probably. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
That's the best advice you've gotten all day, huh?
It is. It is.
Yeah, tell Brittany I said that too.
Okay, I will. Are
They're
you
gonna
going to
be
be around?
like,
Are you
Joe said-
available tomorrow morning?
Joe said this to me today, and Joe said that to me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get a fucking IM or something from her, being like, "The fuck you tell Nick today." Anyways, all right, Nick. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fun. He's Nick Gemelli of 98.5 The Sports Hub, at Nick Gemelli, now a Stoneham resident, the great town of Stoneham, and just sitting here on Spotify, YouTube, and iTunes. That's it. Matt Dolof's coming on tomorrow. You like him?
Ooh. Yeah, he's a good guy. I like him.
All right, I'm getting out of here. We're going to say bye, Nick.
Bye.
And, I'll talk to everybody tomorrow at noon on Just Sitting Here.